Well, thanks very much. I want to thank my colleagues for being here. We shouldn't have to be here. And if we are going to be here, we should be joined by members of the Republican Party. I heard candidates all across the country on the Republican side saying over and over again, oh, we're for protecting pre-existing conditions. Don't worry, America, we're for that. And they haven't done a blessed thing to make sure that that happens. The best way for them to give credence to their assertion that they're for protecting pre-existing conditions is to do one of two things. They could do a lot, but one of two things. Join this resolution. That would be a good start. Or maybe in addition to joining the resolution, march into a court of law or demand that the Justice Department march into a court of law and file a motion that says, we hereby withdraw the arguments that we've been making, that these provisions are unconstitutional. So if you want to prove that you're for protections for pre-existing conditions, you got to do those two things, or at least one of the two. They could join the resolution and then urge the Department of Justice to march into that court of law. But absent that, the Republican Party in this town has no credibility to say that they believe in these protections. We are all grateful across the country, and certainly in Pennsylvania, that we advanced forward in the number of people who are covered. So 20 million people got coverage because of the Affordable Care Act. 1.1 million in Pennsylvania are covered because of that. But that number is going down in my state. It hasn't gone below 1.1 million, but it's gone down by tens of thousands because of the sabotage, the undermining of the Affordable Care Act that this administration has undertaken. But there are a lot more people in Pennsylvania, the total is 5 million, who now have protections on pre-existing conditions, a lot of other things as well, a lot of other protections, that they didn't have before. So the advances of the Affordable Care Act wasn't just about covering 20 million Americans. It was, I don't even know the number, but it's certainly in the range of the 160 million who have employer coverage, who have protections they never had before. And they're starting to rise up and be heard. And if the Republican Party wants to do the right thing for America, they will truly defend these protections. And it would also help them down the road. But so far they haven't done that. So the Republican Party in Washington and around the country has to ask itself, what do you say to the constituent who wrote to me from Adams County, who wrote to me and said, quote, my now 3-year-old son has a critical congenital heart defect. He has endured three open heart surgeries, this 3-year-old. Heart caths, multiple specialists, pediatricians, visits, therapy, strokes, you name it, on and on. Removing the pre-existing conditions and putting caps on insurance coverage will be detrimental not only to my family, but to others as well. So the Republican Party has to answer that parent. They don't have to answer me, they have to answer that parent. And to say, what are you doing to give assurance, to give some peace of mind to that parent? So far, the Republican Party in this town and in this chamber have done nothing to protect people with pre-existing conditions. Let's see what they do. Leader Schumer.